Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Simple Launcher, which is an open source emulation front end, and it just got a very big new update. So at the time of filming, the latest update here is release 4.0.0, and they're saying this release brings significant user interface improvements, new features for game browsing and management, enhanced stability, and various under-the-hood technical refinements. There's a new system selection screen, revamped navigation panel, switchable view modes, enhanced zooming, displayed game file sizes, overhauled UI layout. They've enhanced gamepad logic, they've standardized sound effects, updated batch convert to CHD, added batch convert to RVZ, updated emulators, updated MAME data files. There's a whole bunch of bug fixes and even more. This is a massive update, and now it's got a brand new look and feel. Simple Launcher is 100% free, it's open source, and if you're interested in Simple Launcher and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. But speaking about hiding stuff, next up we're talking about Marathon. Now we've talked about Marathon in the past regarding Bungie and the whole art stealing confirmation and all of that. Well, it seems as if things are not going good at all for Marathon. If you're a fan of Marathon, this is probably not good news for you. It's being reported that Marathon marketing has been canceled as game delay rumors circulate. I've seen this reported in a few different places. I think it came up on an IGN podcast as well. And I think Insider Gaming here does a good job of summing things up. They say now it has been claimed that Marathon has canceled all planned paid marketing, suggesting that a major delay or even a full-scale cancellation is on the horizon. Marathon was due to be released on September 23rd, but this latest debacle has thrown the hype train clean off the rails. I just said debacle, I meant to say debacle. It's one of those days. Unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball to be able to tell if this game will be delayed or canceled. It is highly unusual, and I think that is the huge takeaway here. This situation doesn't happen all the time, where a game is accused of stealing artwork, and then admits to stealing artwork, and then reportedly has to launch an investigation behind the scenes to see what else may have been compromised within the game. I would say overall here that this is, well, this is just a huge kerfuffle. I could say debacle, but I'm going to say kerfuffle here. It's just, I'm hoping for the best here for people who are a fan of Marathon, who are looking forward to the game, and obviously for the developers behind this. It's really weird. And I'm wondering if there is other artwork that was stolen from other artists and they're not able to come to agreements with those other artists or the initial artist on this one. The amount of rework here may not be worth the spend to be able to do it, and that's where the game may be canceled. Who knows? I've got no idea how much money they've sunk into this game. I've got no idea how much money this whole thing is going to cost them. If you've got an insight, though, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking about developers and costs, I'm going to pat myself on the back for that segue. Next up here, we're talking about Microsoft. And this is pretty huge. Microsoft is reportedly making individual developer accounts free next month. And they say all onboarding fees are to be glass. So here's the blurb from Microsoft, including the benefits. Starting later next month, individual developers will be able to publish apps to the Microsoft Store without paying any onboarding fees. That is huge, making it the first global digital storefront to eliminate such charges. Developers will no longer need a credit card to get started, removing a key point of friction that has affected many creators around the world. By eliminating these one-time fees, Microsoft is creating a more inclusive and accessible platform that empowers more developers to innovate, share, and thrive on the Windows ecosystem. Let me know your thoughts about this one. I mean, I would say this is pretty huge from an overall Microsoft standpoint, and I would say this may be pretty big for getting developers on their platform. By removing restrictions, making it easier for individual developers, corporations still have to pay. This may entice a lot of people to start taking a look at it. And speaking about taking a look at stuff, next up, if you're a fan of SNES games, you may want to take a look at SNESDEV 2025. It's starting in just 6 days here. 6 days, 6 hours, 32 minutes, and 20 seconds. 19, 18, 17 at the time of filming. If you're a fan of homebrew stuff, this may be up your alley. They say this game jam aims to promote SNES development, and the game jam is mainly for those who know how to code on the SNES. It's open to everyone, but it's a difficult game jam. And that's because the game has to be developed during the game jam. It can't be a game from like 2 years ago submitted during the game jam. It has to be fully created and running during that game jam. And I guess it's also for people who like to play SNES games, because the main benefiters here are the gamers. And if you're one of the winners of the game jam, the idea here is to put the game on an SNES cartridge. The judging details are here, the rules are here, and although this is a difficult game jam, I would say the rules are simple and straightforward. I mean, it's got to run on real hardware. It'll run on an actual emulator, but it's got to run on real hardware. No expansion chips, and that's because the games have to be put on a multi-card. Probably other reasons too. And there will be no themes. Any game is accepted. That is pretty cool. So it's probably going to be a wide variety of games. I don't know about you, but I am a huge fan of these game jams. We talked about the latest one, the N64 game jam, where there were some pretty cool games that were developed. And now the SNES one, I am super pumped for. But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. And continuing to talk about development, next up we're talking about Capcom. And I don't know what's going on with Capcom behind the scenes, but they seem to be doing extremely well. I mean, we talked about Capcom recently where they were reporting year-over-year growth. And that's in an industry where we've seen year-over-year reductions in sales and companies laying off a lot of people and companies merging and rebranding. And some companies seemingly being in a very rough financial situation. I'll just put it that way. Capcom, on the other hand, is full steam ahead here, and they've announced plans to acquire land to build a brand new game development building right next to their Osaka base. Crazy. For context here, this is an article over on PC Gamer from March 6th, 2024 last year, and it's titled, "While Other Gaming Companies Talk Layoffs, Capcom is Raising Salaries." And this is where they raise salaries by 5% on average. Additionally here, because yes, there's more, Capcom is saying they're anticipating growing by 100 employees each year. I don't know what Capcom is doing, but I think other game companies should be paying attention. Let me know your thoughts. And speaking about Japan, to me this one is super interesting and also really cool. So it's being reported that Japan's government just dropped a huge free Minecraft map. Yeah, government making a map in Minecraft, but the reason behind it may be different than you think. So the whole purpose behind this one is to educate and showcase their flood control, because they've got the world's largest underground flood control facility. And I think this is super cool and super awesome. And if you're a super villain, this may be informative. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Anyways, here, I'm just joking. Anyways, here, this is awesome. And I think it also helps promote tourism overall. Let me know your thoughts, because this map can be downloaded and explored on your own. And speaking about stuff that's cool, next up here we're talking about Noctua, and Noctua is pairing up with Pulsar. Pulsar is pairing up with Noctua to make a brand new mouse here that has a built-in fan to help cool your hands while you're gaming or doing anything really. It's worth noting here that if I'm not mistaken, the mouse already exists just without the fan, and it's the Feynman F01, which is priced at $180. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so. So I'm guessing here that with the fan and the Noctua color scheme, the price may jump to, I don't know, $200. That's a complete random guess. Unfortunately, I don't know the price of this. It's just a prototype at this point in time. I don't know the release date, if it sees a release date. But I think there may be some interest in the competitive gaming market. So here's hoping they go through with this, because I think that this would be pretty cool, pun intended. And last up here, we're talking about a Kickstarter that seems to have been very successful. We're talking about Daemon. So the campaign for Daemon launched on Kickstarter back in 2023. I think we may have talked about this one, maybe not. Anyways, here it's a new fantasy retro side-scrolling action game for PC, Sega Mega Drive, Genesis, and Neo Geo. And it seems a release is imminent. Now, for reference, this Kickstarter had over 1,500 backers, and they raised close to €150,000 overall. They were only asking for €50,000. That was the initial goal. Now, taking a look here, there is a pre-order up for the Sega Mega Drive bundle, as well as the Sega Mega Drive and Steam Edition. If you wanted a physical version of this game, it is available. On Steam, though, it's only digital. Unfortunately, I don't know the specific Steam price just yet, but the game is available to be wishlisted. And to be honest with you, the game itself looks pretty cool. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I have wishlisted this game. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.